hot day. You are so tired, you are sweating and you are moving under a tree. So what do you feel at that time? Yes, you will feel very cool. Okay, how this cooling you get, cooling effect you will feel? Yes, you are under the tree and what process is going on continuously in the tree? Yes, transpiration goes on. So, here in this session, we are dealing with what is transpiration and some wonderful experiments, very beautiful experiments also we can see. Okay, first let us see that the all plants continuously absorb water through their roots and this water is conducted upwards and it reaches the aerial parts, that is mainly leaves. So continuously water will be absorbed by the root. Root will be in contact with the soil and in the soil what is present? Yes, water is present. So here you can see that by the continuous absorption how it takes place. Like that excess of water will be also removed from the plant. And this process is nothing but transpiration. So, how can we give the definition of transpiration? Already you have learned in the other classes. That is the loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant, especially from the leaf, is called as what? Transpiration. So, transpiration is the process of the loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant. Now, using certain experiments, we can prove how this water is lost or even what is the amount of water it is lost. So, first one you can see that the demonstration of transpiration, you have to take a potted plant, a plant which grows in the pot. So, here this is a pot and you are taking a plant that grows in this pot. Like this you are taking a potted plant. Okay. Now what you have to do, here this part, here what is present children? Yes, soil is present, isn't it? So you have to take a transparent polythene bag. What is meant by polythene bag? Yes, plastic bag. It should be transparent. Then what you have to do, you have to tie it here. Completely you have to tie this transparent bag. Here you have to tie it properly. This polythene bag you have to cover this potted plant here. Okay. So completely you are tying it here. So keep it in the sunlight for 2 to 3 hours. After this, when you are observing, you can see that tiny water drops will be present on the sides of this polythene bag. So, first there was no water droplets present on this one, whereas after some time you can see that tiny drops of water present on this polythene bag. From where these water drops might have came? Yes, there is no other way. From the soil there is no chance for this water vapor to come. Here of course the evaporation takes place here in the soil because water may be present in the soil and in this pot and evaporation takes place, but there is no chance for this water to enter into this polythene bag because we have tied it here. So from where it may less, then only the vapor will condense. Clear it? So from this experiment, you can say that this excess of water is evaporated from this aerial part of the plant. So this is an experimental setup. So a similar control setup, how you can keep? Yes, here you can see that an empty polythene bag you have to tie and keep. Okay, an empty polythene bag you have to tie and keep for the same 3 to 4 hours. What will happen? So the plant is absent here in this empty polythene bag. So in the experimental setup, water plant is present, whereas here this only polythene bag plant is absent. So 3 to 4 hours you are keeping in sunlight. What will happen? Can you see any water droplets in this polythene bag? No. Why there is no? Here it is present, whereas there it is absent. Yes, here there is no plant, there is no transpiration. So from this experiment, this is the control and this is the experimental setup, and from this experiment we can say that plants give out water and that is transpiration. Another experiment now let us see. This you need a potted plant. For this experiment also you need a potted plant, then a bell jar and a polythene bag. These 3 things are necessary. Then apart from that you need cobalt chloride paper. This cobalt chloride, when it is dry, its color is blue, and when it is in wet condition its color will be pink. That is, as an indicator we can use this one to demonstrate whether moisture content is present or not. Okay. So in dry condition, what's the color of cobalt paper? Yes, that is cobalt chloride paper will be blue in color, as well as when moisture is present, you can say it will be pink in color. So here also you are taking 2 potted plants. So here, same way, you are taking a potted plant here, leaves are here. Second case also you are taking another potted plant. Okay. Third case, only a bell jar. Now go to the first potted plant. Here you have to entirely using a polythene bag, you have to cover this pot. Completely using a polythene bag, you have to cover this one. Okay. So the entire pot you are covering using a polythene bag. Why you are covering this one? Because to prevent what? Prevent the evaporation of this water from this pot. To prevent the evaporation from this pot, you are covering this with a polythene bag. And the rest of the things, the entire things, you are keeping it in a bell jar. This is a glass jar which is called as bell jar. Okay. In the second case, same condition we are providing. Here also you can see that you are covering this entire pot using a polythene bag. Tightly you are packing in the polythene bag. What is the purpose of covering it with a polythene bag? To prevent the evaporation. Okay. So here also you are covering it with a polythene bag. And this apparatus also, this one also completely you are covering it in a bell jar. paper here. What is the color of this cobalt chloride paper? Yes, that is the cobalt chloride paper. When it is in dry, it will be blue in color. So now this is blue in color. Using a pin, you are attaching this cobalt chloride paper to the wooden piece. And in the third case, a similar, you can see a bell jar. So, a bell jar you are keeping here. Then here you are keeping, yes, a blue cobalt chloride paper you are keeping here. This is the cobalt chloride paper. So, it is blue in color. So, the apparatus is set up like this, and 3 to 4 hours you are keeping it like this. Here in the first case, I am already told you that the potted plant you are taking and 3 to 4 hours you are keeping it like this. The same thing, all these 3 things you are keeping it for 3 to 4 hours. Then what change you can see? Afterwards, here you can see what? Tiny drops of water appearing in the bell jar. Okay? Tiny drops of water appearing in the bell jar. From where these drops of water came? Yes, that is due to transpiration. Here we have completely covered it with the polythene bag. There is no way of evaporation takes place. So we can say that this water droplets come from what? Yes, it is from by the process of transpiration. In the second bell jar, what change you can see? Here also you can see this water droplets on the sides of the bell jar. Then additionally one thing you can see that this blue cobalt chloride paper. What's this color? Blue. This blue cobalt chloride paper that will be changing into what color? Yes, pink color. First it was what color? Blue color. Now it has changed to pink color. What does that show? Yes, the droplets what we feel on the sides of this bell jar, that is nothing but water. So, I already in the beginning I told you, cobalt chloride paper, it has the capacity, it will change this blue color into pink color. So, here you can see that it is changing the blue color, it is changing, the first it was blue, that is changing into pink color, showing that these droplets are nothing but water. In the third case, the bell jar is there. What is absent there? Yes, the potted plant is absent there. So, any transpiration takes place here? No. So, here what we kept? Blue cobalt chloride paper. Any change happens to this cobalt chloride paper? No. Nothing happened to this blue colored paper. It has not changed into pink, showing that here the plant is absent. So, let me say this is A, the second one is B, and third one is C. Can you say which are the experimental setup and which is the control setup? Yes, A and B are experimental setup, whereas C is the control setup. This is also another experiment to demonstrate transpiration. So, next is measurement of transpiration. How we can measure this transpiration? There is different methods to measure this transpiration. First one is weighing method. Weighing means finding the weight of this one. So, in weighing method, what we have to take? Take a small lightweight potted plant. First method, take a small lightweight potted plant, and you can see that it should be just like in the previous case I have told you that this is the lightweight potted plant you are taking here. A small plant you are taking, and here polythene sheet. Okay. So find the weight of this potted plant. Okay, and note it in a notebook. First, find out the weight, and afterwards keep this in sunlight for 3 to 4 hours. Nothing else you have to do. It should be covered with this polythene bag. Keep it outside for 3 to 4 hours, and afterwards again you take this potted plant and find the weight. Can you see any difference in weight? Yes, there is a little difference in weight. And how this difference? There is less weight in the second case because the water lost by transpiration. Okay. So again, still another method you can see that a potted or you have to take a plant and put it in water. Okay. So in a bottle, like this you have to keep. In a bottle you are keeping this plant. Its root system should be there. Okay. Including root system you are keeping this one, and here it should be covered with a cork. A split cork. Through that you have to pass this one, and this bottle should be filled with water, and here is the plant. Okay. On the side of this bottle, with the help of a rubber tube, you have to attach a glass tube. It should be graduated. That this should be graduated. Mark should be there. So in this also what will be there? Water will be there. Okay. So keep the apparatus like this for 3 to 4 hours. Again, afterwards when you are watching, you can see this water level, it will be falling down. Okay, first till here water was there. After certain time, 3 to 4 hours, this water level in this graduated tube comes down. Why? Because this root using this suction force, it pull the water to the other parts of the stem, and it reaches the leaves, and in the leaves transpiration takes place, and that water is lost. That is why the water level in this tube it came down. There is another method. You have to take a test tube like this. You have to take a test tube and fill it with water. Okay, here you are filling the test tube with water. Test tube with water, and then you have to keep a cut stem. So roots are not there. Only a cut stem you are keeping, and okay, it should have leaves. Okay, cut stem with the leaves, and then what you have to do, you have to pour few drops of oil into this water so that clearly the oil will come to the top of this one like this. The oil or the density of the oil is less than that of water. It will float on the water, and the entire surface top you can see the water will come and make a thin film. Okay. So why we are putting this water into this test tube? Yes, to prevent the evaporation of water. Okay. That's why we are adding few drops of water, so few drops of oil, so that oil will come and cover the top surface like this. Now you have to take a beaker, another beaker, and put this entire test tube in the beaker like this, and including this beaker and test tube, you have to find out the weight. Okay, again you bring back this test tube and the plant, keep it again in the same beaker and find out the weight. There is a difference in the weight. How this difference happen? Yes, you can see that transpiration occurs through this leaf and thus water will be lost from this leaves. So that difference, whether it is a first case and second case, whether it is a large difference or a small difference, you can notice this case especially. There is a small difference only you can notice here. Why it is a small difference? Yes, because here root is absent in this one. We have taken a cut stem only. Root is absent. So the process of absorption of water will be very less. So as the absorption is less, what will happen? The transpiration amount also will be less. Understood? So as this absorption of water is less, the transpiration also will be less. So the weight difference will be very less. So this is weighing method, and next method you can see that photometer method. Photometer method. Photometer is a device that is used to measure the rate of water intake. Water intake, how much water will be taken. So photometer is a device that is used to find out how much water will be taken by the plant during the process of transpiration. So photometer is do not use to measure the water lost during transpiration. So don't confuse with that one. How much water will be intake by the plant, that only we can find out by using a photometer. We cannot measure how much water is lost by the plant. Okay, so there are different types of photometers are there. One is called as farmer's photometer, otherwise called as Ganome's photometer. These two we are using to find out how much water is taken by the plant. Still there is another photometer which we are called as Darwin's photometer, that is used to demonstrate the suction force created due to transpiration. And still again one more photometer is there, Rose photometer, which is used for unequal transpiration from both sides of the leaves. So as you know that usually stomata is present in which surface of the leaf? Yes, on the lower surface of the leaf. So stomata is present on the lower surface of the leaf, and here the unequal rate of transpiration takes place. So most probably through the lower surface more transpiration takes place. So different photometers, there are different photometers. So first one you have seen that what are the farmer's photometer or Ganome's photometer. Next one is Darwin's photometer, then Gay's photometer. Each one is using. Now first let us see the Ganome's photometer. Once more, photometer is used to measure the water intake. How much water will be taken by these plants, not by how much water is lost by the plant. Okay. So let us see the structure of Ganome's photometer. A bent glass tube. So a bent glass tube like this. Okay. graduated scale we are keeping. Okay. This is the setup. This is Canon's photometer. So now this end of this glass tube, it is now dipped in this colored water. Now first thing is that you have to introduce an air bubble into this glass tube. How you can introduce an air bubble? Yes, just lift this glass tube from this colored water. You can see that an air bubble will enter into this glass tube. So in the initial position, you adjust this graduated scale where this air bubble is. Suppose the air bubble is here now. Then here what will enter? Water will enter. Okay, here also you can see that in the reservoir water is there. Here in this tube also what is there? Water is there. So set up this experimental setup, you have to keep for 3 to 4 hours like this. So quite normally what will happen? The transpiration, as you know from the leaves, transpiration takes place. So how you can understand that transpiration takes place? Yes, through this gas bubble, you can see as transpires this plant due to suction force, water will be taken, it goes through the xylem vessels, it reaches the leaves and then transpiration takes place, and as the water is used and the loss of water takes place, you can see the air bubble moves from here to here, or then if it is small, it may move from here to here. So this is how this air bubbles moves. Okay. So from that you can understand that water is lost through the leaves. Again that will be absorbed from this color water through this tube. The water will rise, from that air bubble starts to move. So this is a simple experiment to demonstrate the measurement of transpiration by using Ganong's photometer. Okay. So once more, this Ganong's photometer, it is not used to find out Schwartz. Yes, only it is used to take the intake of water. By using that, we cannot say this much water is lost, but it may be almost equal. How much water is absorbed, that much is losing. Even then you can see that the cell for the purpose of the leaf cells or the other cell for their activities, it is using nearly 2% of water it is using for other activities. So you don't think that the same amount of how much water is absorbed, that much water is transpirated from the plants. That will not, that amount will not be equal, because some water will be used for the working of the cell, for photosynthesis or for other purposes it is using. Now, what are the points what we have to use while using this photometer? What are the precautions? Yes, the photometer should be made completely watertight. So, the first thing that the photometer should be completely watertight, and the tip, this is the tip of the plant, a shoot of the plant. It should be cut obliquely. This is the stem. If it is cut like this, just a transverse cutting, but it should cut obliquely like this. Okay, it should cut obliquely like this, and so that there is surface area will be more comparing to this. See, comparing to this, here the surface area is this much only, whereas here you are getting this much surface area when you cut obliquely. Okay, so surface area will be more, and so you can see that we can avoid suction of air bubbles into the tip. So now what are the limitations of using photometer? First you have seen the precautions, now limitations. Introducing the air bubble is not very easy. Here introducing this air bubble into this glass tube, it is not an easy thing, because always to introduce you can see that the tip may not remain fully active for a long time. That means this part, as it do not have roots, this part do not have roots, it may die. Understood? The shoots or the tip may die. It may not be active for a long time. Then any changes in the atmosphere, you can see outside temperature, if any changes happens, that may affect the position of the air bubble in the capillary tube. If anything happens in the outside temperature, if it is too humid, too hot, like that, any temperature variation happens, that affect the position of this position of the air bubble in this glass tube. So these are the limitations of using a photometer. So three limitations are there. Once more, introducing the air bubble is difficult task. Then second time, the tip may die, or you cannot say that for a long time it may not be alive, and any temperature change in the outside may affect the position of the air bubble in this capillary tube.